Hi Eli. Didn't have a great deal of footage of you, but I've managed to come up with a couple. So I'll start with this backhand wave and just go through a few points with you there. First thing is, with backhand surfing, you really need to get off the bottom a little bit earlier. Next thing I want you to consider is you need to throw your arms. Following that, you need to commit high and early at all times, and the last thing I want you to think about is your front foot above the lip line at all times. And these principles also go for your forehand, but the way you drive out off the bottom is very important. So what I've done is I've chosen a model in a medium-sized wave, and hopefully you can see a comparison here. So I'll go back and have a look through it. So we'll just play it through at slow-mo. Just get a bit of an idea of what's going on. So you're stopped in that crouched position for far too long. It's just causing you a bit of a problem to get high. You actually go up high here, and I'll pause a few times through this and just explain what you've done right and actually wrong in a few of these situations. So I just get this back to the beginning of each surfer, and that way we can go through a few frames at a time. So I'll just go through and have a look here, and I'll just pause where necessary. If we look at our model here, what's happened is as soon as he's got to the bottom, he's actually put all his weight onto the rail. And if you look at this bit here, you can see the rail and the bottom of the board down here. And that means that what he's done is he's put all his weight onto the inside rail. The other thing you can see about him is he's actually looking out. Let's get the right one. He's looking up here. And because he's looking up there, he's going to go up there, and his board's going to commit high and early, which is what we were talking about before. So, he also will throw his arms, and we'll have a look at that in a sec. I'll just erase this for a second, and we'll just move on a few frames further. As I look through here, you can see that he's thrown his arms up. If you take a look here and we look at his arms have gone up here. This arm's obscured a little bit, but it's out there. And what he's done is by throwing his arms, he's actually lifted his momentum and his gravity upwards like that. And it's going to shift his board up there very quickly, and you'll see his board will actually move very quickly and hopefully will be above the lip line. So he's committed high and early. The other thing is I talk about being tight to the whitewater. Unfortunately, this lip here, if I look at it for you, is basically, if I look along there, you can actually see it is pretty radical. It's closing out a fair bit. Unfortunately, that's made you wait a little bit, but there was no reason why you couldn't have possibly turned around, come off the bottom early and straight up the top, and that's what you've got to start working at. So there's a lot to take in here, but I'm hoping that you're a pretty quick learner because you're pretty keen. So we'll move a few frames forward. Can you see what I'm talking about, how he's getting the board above the lip line, his front foot's above the lip line. If I look at targeting where his foot's here, and that's well and truly above the lip of the wave. And we'll even get further as I let it run. But there's the lip there, down here. And he's getting his front foot, which is probably actually about here, about there, above the lip line. So you do manage to get your board above the lip line. There's a couple of problems when you do. So if you look at that huge commitment there, if I pause there and look at his foot now, his foot's up here somewhere. Okay, and the lip line obviously is along here somewhere, so it's a huge distance above the lip line. So I'll just move on a little bit further, and what we'll see is as he's coming down, you're just getting around the whitewater. Unfortunately, what happens is the lip starts closing out. And so then you consider, hang on, I better get my board above the lip line. But what's happened is, can you see that front leg? It's very, very straight. very straight indeed. What you need to do is you need to be bringing it up. You need to be bringing this board and bring it up towards your chest, so that when you come up, you're driving with your body closer to the surfboard. So moving along a little bit further, and we can see that you end up not quite making that manoeuvre, and our surfer's ready to finish off his wave. So look, I hope that's helped you out. I know there was a lot to take in there. I'll also deliver one for you on your forehand, and you can get to see. So it's just those basic principles that we've got to look at, but I'm sure that you're a quick learner and you're going to practice that for me. So off the bottom early, commit high and tight, and make sure that you get your front foot above the lip line. And that's what you're trying to do, and that way you can continue and you will complete a lot of your turns. Thanks.